The reality is that socialism fails every time it's tried. I'm going to bring, of course, we're all aware of the tremendous failures and the suffering and the millions that died during the Soviet Union. We've seen the suffering in Cuba, in Venezuela, but I want to bring three concrete examples of where socialism has failed. One is the UK, after World War II, embraced socialism. They went full hog into socialism. They nationalized nearly every major industry. And what happened? Well, initially it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But then Margaret Thatcher's old adage came into being. Eventually you run out of other people's money. That's the problem with socialism. And so the United Kingdom actually became known as the sick man of Europe because their economy was so behind, which brought the standard of living down further and further and further until Margaret Thatcher came to office, brought free economics, and brought UK back on the economic roadmap. The second one is an interesting one. Israel. So Israel also embraced socialist policies shortly after World War II. They embraced very socialist, collectivized farming. Some of you might be familiar with the term kibbutzes, and these were socialist farming agricultural places. And initially, it was not bad, and because they were carrying this investment, this money that had come from before, that was initially spending your money eventually, and so you grow debt. But what happened is Israel's economy began to shrink, and shrink badly. And in fact, it wasn't until around 1980 or so that eventually they adopted free market policies, and where they went from one of the lower economic growth countries to actually leading the developed world from 2000 on in economic growth. So once again, we see socialism fail. Third example is the world's biggest democracy is India. India initially, after World War II, also embraced socialist policies, and once again they found it to be an unmitigated disaster, lowering the standard of living. And then they embraced free market economy, and what happened? Lo and behold, the market increased. So the challenge becomes, and this is repeated all over again, this is not new news what's happening in Canada. So we have the government, the Liberal government, take power in 2015. They're coming off a great legacy, the legacy of the Harper government, when housing was affordable, when Canada was a world leader in GDP per capita, when Canada was strong on the map. And then, you know what, time comes by and the debt and the leveraging and socialist policies have their corrosive effect on the economy over and over again, bringing down our economy. And you know, then there's a realization that happens, and I don't know whether it happens for all the members of this, and maybe some of them live in blissful ignorance or just to deny the truth. But the reality is, eventually it comes to effect that they don't work. These policies don't work, and we're seeing that now in Canada, just like we did in the UK, in Israel, and India. Wherever these socialist policies, there's a legacy that always follows, Madam Speaker. One is high unemployment. We're now creeping up to 6.1%. Secondly is a lack of prosperity. Third is an increase in inequality, ironically enough, given all the talk of equality in this House. And fourth is incredibly slow economic growth, which drives down the economy and the economic life.